talk about the Texas Tech game. I mean, besides one quarter in that game, you kept up with one of the hottest teams in the entire country. What kind of confidence does that give you guys as a team that you can kind of keep up with anybody?
Yeah, a lot of credit to Texas Tech. I mean, it's hard to stay undefeated like they have. They're on a 12-game win streak right now. Top 25 net score. They're playing really good basketball, and so I think that we came home learning a lot of lessons from that game. We're toe to toe with them a lot during the game. I thought that we just totally dominated in the third quarter until the last 2 minutes. I thought we closed the gap really well in the third quarter. I thought, we've got a chance to go into the fourth, maybe down 3 or 4, and had a couple of careless turnovers and miss a layup and a couple of free throws down the stretch to only, win that quarter by 1 point. I felt like we, just really outplayed them in the third quarter. Fourth quarter was kind of back and forth, and, just weren't able to close the gap anymore in the fourth. But to out-rebound a team like Texas Tech takes a lot of effort. I thought that was really good. Peyton Hull, once again, was super crafty with finishes in the paint. Our guards especially were really tough with the basketball. It was a really physical game, and for us to get to the free throw line 35 times, I think, speaks volumes on just the toughness of our ball handlers, because they had a lot of resistance when they were trying to drive and, run our sets. And for them to get to the free throw line that many times was really, really good. Showed, a lot of grit and a lot of composure against some physicality. So I think, we came back with a lot of lessons, but, nobody cares that you played well. It's another loss. It's another ding against us. And that was the most frustrating thing, is that, for all the good that we did, we still lost the game. We did some things okay, but you don't really care when the game's over. You didn't get the outcome that you wanted. And so we'll get back to the drawing board today and really focus on not so much 5-on-5 stuff, but just some fundamental breakdowns that we had last night that we've got to make sure that our players understand what to do in those situations. Maybe a 3-on-3, a 3-on-2, a 2-on-1. We didn't capitalize on when we had some advantages.
And what is, not playing a game for an entire week play into that? Do you think that it's potentially a factor that those mistakes come from just not having that kind of game speed for an entire week?
It can certainly play into some game slippage when you haven't had a game all week. And we are very academically oriented within our team. Like, we had players that had like 88s going into finals, and they were stressed, like, I've got to make an A on my final, make an A in this class. And so, maybe unlike a lot of teams, like, our players were super focused on finals last week, and we took a day off in the middle of the week. We had 1 week we just worked on skill development, just to try to give them a little bit of a mental break from basketball during the week. So certainly you may have some game slippage after you have that many days without a game, and where really your mind is just focused on the classroom, which is good. That's what we wanted them to do, and we're excited this week to see all the A's that we have, and hopefully everybody did really well in their finals. But could have been something that was going on with us for sure.
And then Brianna and Emma, they played well in their own respective ways. Emma getting double-digit rebounds, getting a double-double. Brianna shooting really well from the free throw line, putting up 11 points. How good is that to see that another couple of players are stepping up, especially those veterans?
Yeah, we got to the free throw line 35 times and actually missed 10 of those. That could have made a huge difference in the game. So it's good to see, Bree being able to knock hers down. Emma's an excellent shooter. That was basically her scoring input for us, was from the free throw line, which we really, really needed all of those. So again, just, exudes toughness to be able to, take a foul and step to the free throw line, knock your shots down.
And you guys shot 20% from three, which I know is a staple for you guys, and then 29 from the field. The fact that you still had a chance to win despite the struggles from the field, what does that say about this team and the toughness there?
I think rebounding really kept us in the game. We did a tremendous job offensively going after rebounds, but defensively blocking out a much bigger, more athletic team. We take a lot of pride in getting the ball in the paint. I think just getting the ball in the paint, kicking out to shooters, is the best way for us to score 3-pointers. And our passing was not great yesterday. We did get the ball in the paint, but didn't make great crisp passes to our 3-point shooters. I didn't think we shot enough threes. And, of course, we want to shoot about 35-40% from the 3-point line. But on a night where they're not really going in, like, you've got to shoot a high number. Just hit 2 more threes, it's a whole different ballgame. Hit 4 or 5 more free throws, it's a whole different game. And so, playing against a team that's, perceived better than you are, you can't shoot a low percentage from the free throw line and the 3-point line. I mean, you've got to put one of those together. And we just were not able to do that last night.
One of the biggest differences was the points coming off the bench. You guys only had one. They had double digit. What are you hoping to see from your non-starters for the rest of the season going into conference play?
Yeah, we're having a meeting about that today, actually. We need some help. Meredith got 2 quick fouls yesterday. She sat on the bench way too long. There's no reason for Peyton Hull to play 40 minutes. There's just no reason for that. It's just too many minutes. Emma was out there like 37 minutes, and Aaron, same thing. They're playing too many minutes. So we need our reserves to earn playing time in practice every day. They need to understand how important practice is. Like, that's where your teammates gain confidence in what you're doing. That's where your coaches gain confidence. But we can't play our starters with as many minutes as we are right now to sustain, this WAC conference that we're getting prepared for. And so, we need more point production, but we just need more quality play out of our bench and, just go in and, keep everything steady. You don't have to go in and be a hero. Just be really solid ball handler, be solid on the defensive end. And we have an opportunity. We've got several days to work on some things before our next game. And I'm sure that's what, our players would be willing to do.
And based off of that, I know you have a lot of young players coming off the bench. Do you think that's part of a factor of they're still having to learn everything so quickly?
Yeah, we try to put them in pressure situations in practice, and it's a little bit different in the game. There's a lot more on the line. But sometimes a moment's just too big for players that don't have a lot of experience. And I think that's my job and our staff's job to recognize that when we put a player in a situation and the moment is just too big, we need to get them out. And it's not really fault of their own. It's just they haven't been in those situations. And so we've got to ramp up the pressure in practice to help emulate that so that they're ready in those big moments.
Coach, from crushing finals to playing a hard-fought game on Sunday, are your players able to handle an odd stretch in the schedule that well?
Yeah, we've got really high character women in our program, and I think they're pretty good at compartmentalizing academics, basketball, and I don't know, probably social media, and just, putting the first things first. And we talk within our program, we think it's a really high character trait if how you do anything is how you do everything, and we just want to make sure that we are trying to be excellent in all areas of our life. And so, being able to crush it on finals and then prepare to play a really good Power 4 team like Texas Tech, it takes a lot of sacrificing your personal time for sure. It takes a lot of just self-discipline and focusing on the things that you can control, whether it's in the classroom or on the court.
What allowed y'all to draw fouls so successfully and be well from the free throw line?
We play against a really physical scout team every day, and we asked them to ramp up their defensive pressure on us last week, getting ready for this game. And we allow a lot of fouls to go on in practice from our scout team. And I thought they did a really good job just showing how physical the defense was going to be on our ball handlers. And, this year you can have your hands on the ball handler. You can't have both hands on the ball handler at the same time, and you can't have a stayed hand. But, you can constantly be doing this on the ball handler now, which is kind of a defender's advantage, we feel like. Now, if there's displacement, it's a foul. But, if you're constantly measuring up, there's a little bit of an advantage to the defense. And we knew that they were going to play that way and not just their hands, but move their body in the path of our drives. And so our players had to show a lot of composure and, not get frustrated with that, but initiate the contact. Hopefully that will be something that we're like, hey, we did a great job of that. We need to continue doing that, game after game, just being really strong with the ball when there's physical contact.
And to be able to get 6-0 runs and create turnovers and draw closer and closer. Even when you had 4 players play 36 minutes and more, for the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds, what are some situations that you'd like to see your team improve on to get closer?
We got to get better at 3-on-2 and 2-on-1 for sure. Today we're not doing anything 5-on-5. It's just all breakdown work, individual work. Breakdown 3-on-2, 2-on-1, 1-on-1. Situations like that, just to handle those better and recognize when we have the advantage and when we don't. I thought that last night we forced some turnovers around half court. But Tech was able to respond, and we didn't really have the advantage. We didn't have the numbers, and we need to recognize and have that discernment. Hey, just slow down. We got the ball. Let's get set. Let's run our offense, run a set play. But I think that we are still forcing some things when we don't have the advantage. And so those are some things that we've got to focus on today.
And what are some words heading into the ACU Christmas Classic this Friday?
Yeah, this is a big week for us. We're excited about hosting our Christmas Classic. We have 3 really good opponents coming in, and it is a classic. It's not a tournament. So schedule's predetermined. We know we played Montana at 5:30 Friday. We played Buffalo at 3 o'clock Saturday. And then Tarleton will also play Buffalo and Montana. But 3 really good programs coming into Moody Coliseum. So we've got 2 games Friday night, 2 games Saturday afternoon. I know school is just getting out for everybody around here. If you're looking for something for your family to do, you can come out and watch some great women's basketball on Friday and Saturday. But we are, trying to make sure that we've got our T's crossed and our I's dotted, and we want to be first-class host for these teams coming in, and want them to leave talking about what a great experience they had at Abilene Christian University. And so we're really excited about it.